guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see in today's video, I am going to be talking about how I knew that I was on my spiritual journey. And if you see me looking down, it's because I wrote down some notes so that I can make sure I discuss everything. So before I start, we're going to let's define what a spiritual journey is. So a spiritual journey is basically a journey you go on when you are trying to find out who you are, the problems that you are going through in your life and how to fix them, and you're trying to overall figure out how you can just come to peace with the world. And so I experienced all of that, but I didn't know at the time that I was on a spiritual journey. I just knew that it was something different happening with me, and I knew that I knew that I couldn't keep doing the same thing. One of the things that I noticed was that at one point I really just did not know who I was. I didn't know what my purpose was, and I was literally just feeling lost in life. Like, I didn't know which direction to go. It's like I know what got me to that point. Well, I know when it started, let's put it like that. I know when it started. So all of this started when back in 2013, because that is when I had my daughter. So after I had my daughter, you know, everything was cool. I didn't suffer from any postpartum depression or anything like that. But the thing was that I had to go to work immediately after she was born. So I really didn't get that chance to like enjoy her while she was a newborn, me or my husband, because we both had to work. Like, it was something we had to do. We had to work, both of us, and we couldn't like enjoy her as a newborn as much as we wanted to do because we had to go to work. And so I worked mornings and my husband worked nights. So while I was at work, he was with the baby. Once I got off work, it was about 3 hours or so passed, and then it was time for him to go to work. And so when I got off work, me and him, we really didn't have any time together because he had to get sleep so that he can be prepared to go to work. So we really didn't spend time with each other. So time passed by. Boom, here's 2015. 2015 is when I had my son. Now here is when things got worse. Okay, not when I had, like, not me having my son, but when I had my son, it was more like, okay, so we have 2 kids now. We both are working at fast food restaurants. Not that there's anything wrong with working at fast food restaurants, but it was just that we felt like we were getting older and that we should not have been working there. Like, if that makes any sense. Like, me and my husband, we always have our conversations to where we talk about life and we talk about our future and stuff like that. You know, it was during that time when we felt like we weren't, you know, progressing, we weren't evolving, you know, because it was just like a cycle. Okay, it was just like a cycle of going to work 5 days, off 2 days, work 5 days, off 2 days, and that just kind of like, that added to me not being able to spend enough time with my kids like I wanted to. So it, you know, it made me feel like I wasn't a good enough mom. It made me feel like I wasn't doing everything I could to provide for my kids, because at one point I was like, okay, I'm working, which is cool, I'm providing for my family, but what else? I feel like there's something else I should be doing. And even though I knew that school wasn't for me, but I was going to settle and go to college because I felt like, because, you know, in today's society, people make it seem as if you don't go to college, then you're not doing anything with your life. And that's the mindset I had. So I was just trying to go to college to be something, you know, so that I wouldn't feel like I'm not accomplishing anything in my life. And so I felt like that. And so that was like, that was a heavy load that was on me. All at the same time, you know, I was grateful for my job. Me and my husband both, we were both grateful for our jobs. But it was just that we both knew that that wasn't what we wanted to do. and we just, you know, we just wanted out. And at the time, our mindset wasn't where it is now, so we were kind of like all over the place. And on top of that, we had a lot of loans out. Like I think we had like 6 or 7 loans out on top of all of our other bills: rent, light bill, insurance, groceries, phone bill. We had all those other bills on top of the loans, you know, which added to my stress at the time. On top of that, we had debt, so that added to my stress. And so I hit a standstill, and I was just like, who am I? You know, what am I doing? Why am I on this earth? Why am I on this earth? What is my purpose? Because at that time, I did not know. I was lost. Around that time, I just did not know who I was. And it just put me in this emotional state, this depressed state. And I hated it, you know. It was to the point where I was asking my husband, like, what is my purpose? Do you know what my purpose is? You've been with me for a long time, so what is my purpose? You know, I was asking him what's my purpose. He was like, I can't tell you what your purpose is. Only you know what your purpose is. You have to figure out what your purpose is. I can't tell you that, you know. And you know, now that I look back on it, you know, it was just like, yeah, you know, that was like a tough time for me. And so I knew what I did. I knew what I didn't want. And I didn't want to work a 9-to-5 no longer. Like, I hated it. And so I had to ask myself, you know, what, you know, will make me happy at this point? And the only thing that I could think of was leaving my job. That's about the only thing that I know for sure would bring my stress levels down. That, and I mean, even though at the time we had debt and stuff like that, it's like I wasn't worried about that as much. I was worried about it, but I wasn't worried about it as much. I was worrying about my happiness. Just being there just made me, you know, feel like I was just missing out on what was important, which is being at home with my kids and my family, my husband, you know. So so I had to figure that out. The next thing that I noticed was that I wanted to confront the things that were bothering me. And what I mean by that is the things that I went through as a child with my mom. Like I said, out of nowhere, I just started thinking about the way she used to treat me, the things she used to say to me. And I remember I used to tell my husband, I just started telling him, and I started getting very emotional about it. I was like, yeah, I was just telling him about how she treated me as a child. And I wanted to know why. Like, you know, because I couldn't ask her why when I was younger, but I wanted to know why, you know. And so that put me at an emotional state. So I got into pretty much another depression, because I know that the type of mom that I have, I can't just go up to her no matter how nice I say it. I know that I can't go up to her and I just ask her why she treated me the way she treated me and why she still treats me this way, because I know how she's going to react. So I knew that I couldn't do that, right? But I just had this strong urge to want to know, and I wanted to somehow, some way be able to tell her how I felt. Now, I didn't really think that I was going to actually ever tell her how I felt, but I always wanted to. But you know, it's funny how the universe works though, because the moment I started thinking about my childhood and what I experienced with her, it's the moment she decided to just push me to my breaking point. And I pretty much was forced. I had no other choice but to tell her, you know, what I always wanted to tell her. So, you know, it's funny how the universe works. I was like, wow, you know, and I was even shocked at myself, because I didn't think that I was going to actually ever tell her that. I knew that I always wanted to, but I didn't think that I was going to actually tell her that. So that's something I noticed. I wanted to just like speak my truth, you know. So I am no longer biting my tongue for nobody. So it, like, the only thing that I could do is tell someone something in the nicest way possible, and how they take it is on them. but I'm not holding back. I'm not biting my tongue for anyone. Of course, I'm going to always be respectful, you know, if I ever have to, you know, tell someone something like that. But I'm not going to be the person to, you know, just agree just because you're my friend or just because I know you. I'm going to tell you straight like it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. So that was something that I noticed, that I wanted to just speak my truth and just be 100% real with people. The next thing is that I was starting to protect my energy. Like, I did not want to be surrounded by anybody negative. Like absolutely no negative people around me. And you know, the thing about being on a spiritual journey, something that I've learned, I'm still learning, I have a lot more things to learn, but the thing that I've learned is that when you are on this journey, people will slowly start to reveal themselves, and they'll start to show you their true colors. And I didn't want any of that around me, period. And like I said, I've always been the type of person to observe people, and if I don't like your energy, I will not conversate with you. So if I'm out at with a group of people and everybody's talking, I will be that person to sit to the side and not say anything. If I feel someone's bad energy, either I'm gonna do that or I'm gonna leave. But I will not fake it. I will not talk. Like, if I don't like your energy, then I'm just not going to surround myself with you. And that's something that I noticed with both me and my husband. Because, and I told my husband, I was like, believe it or not, you're on your spiritual journey too. Because exactly how I was feeling, you were feeling the same way. So I told him, you are on the spiritual journey along with me. You know, so we both were trying to just protect our energy. So it was like, whoever wasn't trying to evolve in life, you couldn't be around us. You can, and still to this day, you cannot be around us. If you are not trying to better yourself, you cannot be around us. If you do not bring any value to us, like we know that we will give to you, you can't be around us. If you have a negative mindset, you cannot be around us. If you love drama, you cannot be around us. If you only want to come to us for information, but you're not giving us anything, you cannot be around us. And that is something that we both noticed. You know, we were trying to protect our energy, and we still are. So I do my best to not associate with any drama. The only thing I wanted was positivity, like nothing but positive at all times. Like, I noticed that I would start listening to motivational podcasts more. It was just like I was on this positive, it still is, I was on this positive roller coaster, and that's all I wanted to be surrounded around. The next thing was that I started realizing that there is no such thing as coincidence. Whatever happens in your life is because you are attracting whatever it is that happened. So if your life is, if you look at your life as being shitty, it's like that because you are attracting the shit into your life. If you are noticing that you wake up every morning, you're happy, you're on a high vibration, you are attracting nothing but positive people to you, that's because you are doing it. Like, say for instance, if one morning you wake up and you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and on your way to work you get a flat tire, guess what? You attracted that flat tire because you woke up, you weren't grateful, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and because you had that negative energy floating out into the universe, you got the flat tire, if that makes any sense. So whatever happens to you happens, everything happens in divine order. So whatever happens to you, it's supposed to happen that way, okay? And never question why something happens, because there's always a reason why it happens. And even though you may not understand or you may not know what that reason is at that moment, you just got to know that it happened for a reason, and that reason could potentially be to take you to another level, to a higher level. So never question it, okay? So that's something that I noticed. So whenever something happens, you know, I just pretty much go with the flow, because everything is happening in divine order. So whatever happens, happens. I'm just rolling with it. And the next thing is that I started to learn about crystals and sage. Like, I Like, I literally have a crystal addiction. Now, I'm not saying that if you have crystals, or if you have stage that you are a spiritual person. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying that I noticed that that's something that I started to become interested in when I've never even been interested in crystals. None of that. I've never been interested in that. And now I'm literally obsessed with crystals. Another thing was that I noticed that I wanted to start connecting to nature more, and I wanted to start meditating more. Like, because that is where I felt the most relaxed, the most calm, and like, even if I did have a bad day, I know the very first thing that I can do is I can go straight to meditating. And meditation helps, y'all. Like no joke, meditation helps. So I started looking into sun gazing. I started wanting to be outside more. I started wanting to just like meditate randomly in the middle of the day. Like, I just wanted to do it, you know. So that was something that I noticed. The last thing that I noticed was synchronicity. And at this time, I did not know what synchronicity was. So my husband, and this was before we moved to Washington, this is when we were still in Mississippi, my husband used to always see 9/11, but he never looked it up. He just used to always see it. So whenever he would see it, whoever he would be around, he would say, look at the clock, it's 9/11. But he never ever looked it up to see what it meant. And so when we moved up here, he started seeing it even more. And then at one point it stopped. And the moment he stopped seeing 9/11 is the moment I started seeing 9/11. I'm talking about, no joke, like every single day I would see 9/11. It was either I would wake up and I see 9/11, I would look at the TV, I would see 9/11, I would pause a YouTube video on 9/11, I would look at the clock and I would see 9/11. It was just like I was seeing 9/11 everywhere. And after seeing 9/11, we both started seeing just like other synchronicities. The most common one that I see is 111 222. One day I called 111 222 333 444 555. I'm like, okay, I'm super aligned, and can't nobody tell me that I'm not aligned with the universe. So we were seeing a lot of synchronicities and all that type of stuff. And I was just like, wow, because, you know, since being on this spiritual journey, everything is just like so intriguing to me, and I'm just like so interested in learning more about it. And like I said, I do have a lot more to learn, but I'm excited. You know, I'm excited. It feels good to be on this journey, even though, you know, I feel like on this journey, I don't have like any friends on this journey or anything like that. I have social media friends, let's put it like that. I don't have real life friends. I have social media friends on this journey, which is even better, you know. And also and my husband is on this journey with me. I'm excited, y'all. Like, I'm enjoying every bit of this journey, and I just wanted to do this video and just kind of like let you guys know how I do. And like I said, I didn't know that I was on a spiritual journey until I attracted this girl on my Facebook page, and we started talking, and you know, she started telling me and stuff like that. So I didn't even know at first. I decided to just put this video together and let y'all know what I experienced around that time. And maybe you guys have experienced some of this too. You never know. Some of you guys may be spiritual beings. If so, let me know if you've experienced any of this in the comment section below, and let's talk about it, okay? So this is going to be it for this video, you guys, and I will see you in my next one.